Hi, and welcome to Characterization of a Granules Physical Properties Experiment, the practical session. We will characterize granules using one of their most important physical properties, which is flow properties. Again, explain why flow properties are that important. 5 different numbers that should be used together to evaluate the overall flow properties of particles. These numbers are flow rate, angle of repose, Carr's index, and Hausner's ratio, moisture content, and loss on drying, and medium particle size. These numbers should be used again together. All numbers should be measured and calculated for granules A, granules B, granules C, and lactose. Except particle size analysis only will be done for granules A, granules B, and granules C, because the analytical procedure we are using is not suitable for lactose. Please explain why. Now, we will start with the flow rate and angle of repose. The very first step is to regranulate all granules you prepared during granulation experiment in cycle 1. Regranulate using the oscillating granulator. Once you do so, please return all granules to the same plastic bag. As you can see, first, weigh 100 grams of regranulated granules. Here we are showing granules A as an example. Now, assemble the apparatus. As you can see, measure the funnel height using a ruler, and this height should be 15 centimeters and not less than 14 centimeters. This procedure requires only 2 students to perform. The one who will close the funnel small opening by his right hand and hold the funnel with his left hand. The one who is holding the timer will give the sign or the signal to start, and the one who is holding the funnel will give the signal to stop timing. Remember, the one who's holding the funnel should maintain holding it with his left hand all time during flow. If you are left-handed, please hold the funnel with your right hand and close the small opening of the funnel with your left hand. Then, at the end of the flow time, mark the 2 diameters as you can see exactly, and measure the height using a suitable, preferably rubber pen, and of course a ruler. Repeat this 3 times. Here you will record the time required for 100 grams of granules to flow, and the height of the piles formed upon flow under the effect of gravity, and the diameters. The time will be used to calculate the flow rate, and diameters and the height will be used to calculate the angle of repose.
Start. Stop.
'After performing the 3 trials, please return back the particles to their main container or plastic bag.
Number 15. 15 و2 14 ونص.
Now we will measure bulk volume and tapped volume to be able to calculate Carr's index, compressibility index, and Hausner's ratio. To do so, weigh 50 grams of the dried granules, transfer to the measuring cylinder. Clean the measuring cylinder attached to the bulk density apparatus. Use a funnel to pour down the granules. Please use the same procedure you are watching. Measure the bulk volume. If any uneven surface appears, please do maximum 2 taps manually and measure the bulk volume. This is called bulk, untapped, or poured volume. Attached to the tap density apparatus. Make sure to calibrate the tap density apparatus before start counting the taps. Allow the system to tap until a constant volume is reached. 600 taps. Record the volume of the tapped particles. Please, when attaching the measuring cylinder containing the particles to the tap density apparatus, transfer it with the minimum disturbance of the bed, because this will change the volume. Return back the particles to their container or plastic bags. Now we need to measure wet weight and dry weight to be able to calculate moisture content and loss on drying. To do so, please prepare a thin paper Please prepare a tin paper, a square tin paper with 9 millimeter length. Again, square. Please, minimal disturbances and movement should be guaranteed when measuring the moisture content, when measuring the wet and dry weight of your particles, because the moisture content apparatus is too sensitive to movement around. Now place the square of tin paper on the balance of the moisture content apparatus and measure 1 gram. Make sure to spread it carefully in a thin sheet. This is done to guarantee uniform drying, actually uniform and complete drying of the sample, as we are measuring the dry weight. Record this number as the wet weight. Now, allow your sample to dry. As you can see, the weight is decreasing, indicating the loss of water, evaporation of water. Continue drying till a constant weight is achieved. How to know that is a constant weight is achieved? When you reach a number on your balance display and this number increased to the number before it, then decrease to the same number. This will be the final completely dried particles weight. Use hair dryer to cool down the moisture content apparatus between samples. Operate it, the hair dryer, with low temperature and cool air. Finally, perform particle size analysis using sieve apparatus, sieves and shaker to estimate the median particle size. Use the same procedure you did during cycle 1 experiment 2 size reduction of powders experiment. Special thanks to Mr. Amid Al-Tahir, the lab technician, and pharmacist Sarah Jaluka. Thank you all.